Okay.
We know that the world is passing through an epidemic. It was first recognized as a pandemic by IDF and then by WHO in 1991, and this is due to type 2 diabetes. Although type 1 diabetes is also increasing, but type 2 outweighs type 1 in all countries of the world, more so in developing countries. Uh, but in 2006, Bangladesh Diabetic Association took a step to request the Bangladesh government to raise the issue in the United Nations for a UN Day for Diabetes, and it was successfully done. And as you know, 14 November is the UN Day. But I would request you to see the resolution that it has requested all the member states to take move to take a national policy for prevention. You see. So that means that UN also recognize that diabetes is a pandemic, but also is largely preventable. You see. But here I feel rather happy to announce that BARDAS adopted primary prevention as a core program even before the UN resolution. You see. And after the UN resolution is submitted to the government of Bangladesh for a draft national policy. I will not go through it, but you can see the last point that government should take up as a policy to prevent malnutrition of pregnant mothers as a prevention policy. Policy. But what I would like to emphasize, in spite of all these, we in the community of diabetic caretakers, we have not been able to elicit human emotion as much as the HIV/AIDS. You can see HIV/AIDS, TB, and malaria combined is less than the diabetes today, but HIV/AIDS elicits much more human emotion than diabetes, you see. Here, I have to say that if we want to prevent diabetes, we have to be able to explain to the public in simple terms that they can understand. So it's easy to say that diabetes is a combination of gene and environment, but just to show that it's a combination and the seed of the soil. That what was said by Choroka 5,000 years back. You see, so you have the seed. That's the coconut. We don't produce tree until it's planted. You see, so that's the seed and the soil. You can see the understandable republic. We are hunter-gatherers for 2.5 million years, but then now we have become computer addict only recent time, and the body cannot adapt so quickly. You see. Secondly, you may also wonder, does the diabetic gene has got any survival advantage? Why, according to the theory of survival of the fittest, such a damaging gene or genes to get eliminated? But then the diabetic gene may have survival advantage. You see, think of these two creatures in the jungle. You see, the leopard and the deer. They live in the same jungle, and the take-off speed of a leopard is 90 miles, and at its full speed it can go up to 150 miles. But the take-off speed of the deer is only 20 miles, can't go more than 40 miles. But still, leopard can't catch all the deers, you see, because the leopard can run not more than 5 minutes. This tires out, but the deer can run for hours, you see. So endurance is an important factor. So little bit of diabetic gene when you are hunter-gatherer might have given us some advantage of survival, you see. But now imagine this is really Dhaka, you see, on the left, Dhaka 1905, and that's what Dhaka today. From such a beautiful place has become a concrete jungle. So we have damaged our environment. You see. Now, why should we prevent diabetes? I'll first point to the last point, that primary prevention is feasible, largely possible. But diabetes not only has impact on the health and economy, it is also a developmental issue, you see, the development of the country. Now, what I'm aiming at, that to be able to prevent diabetes, we know that it is preventable. We know lifestyle changes will have a big effect. But are we using the right language for the motivation? Here I will give you some examples. You see, like we say, insulin is essential for life. Now I have got this example. I don't know, in the Western world we don't have castrated bulls, but in countries like Southeast Asia we have castrated bulls used for plowing. You see, you can't use bulls for plowing. So they don't obey your command. But then the castrated bull has no testosterone, but it lives normally, you see, except that it can't procreate. So that's what the importance of insulin is essential for life. That means you cannot simply survive without insulin. There are many hormones you can survive with it, although with defect, you see. So that's it. Now, who doesn't know that smoking is harmful? But still think of the tobacco companies, they know how to motivate people. I'm not saying that's good, this is criminal. But then they know how to motivate people. You see, now I'll give you some example. You can see Ronald Reagan smoking. That's the tobacco companies made. You can see made for each other, linked to romance, you see, how easily motivate. You see, more doctors smoke Camel, you see. You see, here our Bengali audience or the viewers, they know this character, you see. He is the most popular actor ever produced in Bengal, you see. So he is smoking. You can see the absent-minded professor, the Walt Disney movie, wherever the professor thinks, do any intellectual activity, he lights a cigarette. It's like that, you see. So they have been able to find this. We in Bangladesh, we have been trying to motivate people through school teachers, through community leaders, through folk songs in places where people gather, in marketplace like that. We specially compose songs which will motivate people. We are trying through the government, creating walkers club, swimmers club, joggers club, etc. We even have produced a full-length movie with a message. You see, the movie was released in the cinema hall, normal cinema hall. Well, people would pay and see, because that makes really effect then. That give the message of prevention of diabetes. And posters, videos, everything. We have also got a diabetes ambassador, you see. Cricket is not only popular in UK, cricket is very popular in Bangladesh. So we have recruited one of our cricket legend. Here you can see Mashraf Ibn Murtaza as our ambassador. You see, we have taken a program to screen population in the workplaces and categorize them in 3 categories: diabetic, pre-diabetic, diabetic, and non-diabetic. So diabetic, then we guide them how to get educated and remain well with treatment. Pre-diabetes, how to prevent, and normal also how to prevent, you see, and also give the message that this is this. We linked with Rotary, social club, Rotary and Lions to this. So what I'm saying, that if we have to be successful in prevention of diabetes, we have to know the right language. The community who are involved in diabetes prevention must do research to find out what language will motivate us. And then I come to the medium of the right medium for the motivation. We have taken a program, we call it preconception care. You see, we have recruited the marriage registers, which are called qazis in this part of the world. So they give the message at the time of solemnizing marriage, that before you plan for conception, you take up programs. To the extent, we have opened in every diabetic association in Bangladesh, every diabetic association corners, pre-conception corners. Conception Corner. I shall pass quickly through it. And these goods, these education toolkits are distributed there. You can, the Qadis are being trained. Plus corner they have this. And our slogan is, I'll say in Bengali, then I'll translate it. Sustoma, Susto Shishu, Samriddha Desh. Healthy mother, healthy child, and a developed nation. That will be. You see, that's this. And the pre-conception care has become self-sustaining. What we have done that the couple come there and they pay. This is about five years, 5 UK starting pound. You see, and they get the complete checkup and advice. You see, and that money is distributed so that a little bit is gets the center, little bit get this, and then when you have a large number, it builds a fund. And data collection will go. But what we achieve, this is the sponsor of this project was World Diabetes Foundation, and you can see one of the representatives even attended a marriage. You see, ceremony. So this. And I'll not go through this key issue that time. But we did a lot of baseline surveys, how much knowledge the community has got, and the doctors community, the Qazi community, etc. I will not go through it. We published some of these before. What I would like to show you is that we have been able to persuade the government that at the time of marriage, the contract that is made, a Muslim marriage is like a business contract. The contract that is made, it must carry the seal that the pre-conception education has been given. This is that has, and so far, about a year back, 30,000 newly married couple got this message, and 4 million people got the information. But then we have followed it up. About 70% these newly married women actually visit our pre-conception care. So that's the positive impact. I'll go through it. So you can see in Bengali, this is the government announcement that it must carry this. And this program was selected at the UN high-level meeting as a successful program. We create concepts and guidelines. I'll go through it. The next medium we chose is that the religious leaders. Here, I have to explain it. You see, if you analyze historically, you see, there's a biblical religion. So Judaism, then the Christianity, then Islam. So since Islam came much later, so recording is much better. And also, there are many more practical things. In Islam, the message about health is, you can't really believe it. The Prophet of Islam, he said that you must not eat more than 1/3 of your stomach. So you can't become obese if you exactly follow that. So we thought, use that message through the religious leaders, and every Friday the Muslim congregates in the mosque, and there the Imam gives a sermon, which we call khutbah. So why not use this through the khutbah? And that has been passed. So now we printed more than 100,000 leaflets and this khutbah, to make it authenticated. You see, these are the training of the Imams. I'm trying to cut short. This khutbah has been authenticated by the Imams of Kaaba in Makkah, so that it becomes highly respected and highly creates right impact. So this we have distributed, and I believe that this, religious leaders or faith-based leaders' influence has not been used well enough. This can create big effect at a very low price. So we went to the khutbah, we met, I shall not go through it. We met the Roman Catholic Church in Bangladesh. More than 95% Christians are Roman Catholic, and recently, in the history of Roman Catholicism, there is a cardinal among the Bengalis. And you can see his picture. You see, I have taken his permission because we were educated in the same school. You see, at our O levels, or equivalent to O level, we are from the same area. So he arranged for me to address all the Roman Catholic bishops and priests, and they agreed that they will do it. And so we met the Hindu temple, Ram temple, also Buddhist leaders, and they all have agreed to spread this message, you see. And we did a study about chemo prevention. This has all been saffron, but we also added small dose of sulfonylurea as an item. It also has some effect. Small dose of sulfonylurea, I say, also effect. We did recently, we did two studies, published long studies. Okay, they are participatory cycle and M-Health, and we found that M-Health creates awareness, but it hasn't produced much impact. Maybe that we have not done it enough, you see. But participatory cycle has reduced type 2 diabetes by 60%. It's a big effect. 60% by effect. This. So I will not take any more of your time. What I would like to conclude that prevention of diabetes is feasible. But we have to learn how to use the right language and the right medium. Thank you.